That's why this movie Transformer, a car suddenly becoming a what? A robot. It's like, how can you imagine that can be transformed into that? So totally different. Like a caterpillar transformed into a butterfly. So there's a progress, right? But if it is from a, a wonderful picture and then it was changed dramatically into a bad one, that's not transformed, that's deformed. Okay? So I hope that's not where you're going into that direction, because many people thought, oh, I'm transforming. But no, you are deforming. There's another related word to that is conform. Okay? There's a form that you are becoming like that one. That's conformation. Okay? But we're focusing on transformation. And tonight, the topic or the person that was given to me a few hours ago was Moses. I don't mind. I like Moses, okay? All the characters of the Bible I like. But Moses is one of the most transformed persons in the Bible. So he lived 120 years. And basically his life was divided into three set of years. 40, 40, 40. So help me out. His first 40 years was spent where? In Egypt. So he started like a baby who was sentenced to death because of the Pharaoh's order. But his mother, a God-fearing mother, took a risk to save him, and then God changed everything in his life that led the princes of Egypt to find him on the river. That's why she gave the name Moses, which literally means saved from the river, Nile River. And then the quick-thinking sister, Miriam, was the one responsible to make it, okay, possible for his own mom to take care of Moses as a nanny for how many years? 12 years. And for those precious 12 years, his mom instilled in him the most important foundation that helped him throughout his life. To fear God, to know his purpose, and he also learned that the God that he served is more powerful, mightier than the gods of Egypt. But while he was in Egypt, he was trained in academics. What else? History, in arts. And during that time, Egypt was the best one in developing writings, okay? And Moses learned how to read and write. Not only that, he was the best in martial arts. That's according to Ellen White. And nobody dared to fight him. He was very good. And so everybody was kind of expecting him to be the next Pharaoh. But all the while, as he was growing up, according to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 23 onwards, it says that Moses despised, okay, everything that is in Egypt. Why? Because he never forgot that he is a Hebrew. And one of the initiations for him to become officially Prince of Egypt was he would not only be a political leader, but he should be also the religious leader. Because pharaohs then are also the priest or the highest priest of Egyptian religion. And Moses knew that he cannot do that. So he refused. He never was commissioned to be an official prince of Egypt. But all the while he was thinking, how can I save my own people? So he was finding a way until one fateful day he saw an Egyptian, which wasn't really a new thing. It was a common thing for the Egyptians to beat, okay, the Hebrews because they were slaves. But he couldn't take it anymore. You know what? Sometimes it happens in your life when you see people or your friends being bullied. For a while you say, oh, I'll keep quiet, but you cannot take it anymore. So you spring into action. sad to say, in that action, he killed the Egyptian. And he thought he had done a favor to the Hebrew. And the following day, this time it's different, two Hebrews fighting each other. And Moses tried to reason with them, said, come on, bro. Hey, bro, you're not supposed to fight each other. What are you doing? And this bro said, you're not my bro. Okay? You killed the Egyptians, you're supposed to protect us. How come you kill? And that spread out. Now, that's interesting because in the account, and even in the movie, it makes it appear that Moses was so scared. It's like a dog with his, tail behind him, running, scampering. I don't think so. If you think about it, and hey, it just hit me right now. Yes, Pharaoh was angry, but with all the sophisticated chariots that they have and horses, do you think they cannot overtake Moses when he ran away? They were able to catch up with the Israelites after they left for almost 1 week. They can do that with Moses. They never chase him. In other words, for the Pharaoh and the other prince probably they said, oh, good riddance. We don't want Moses there anyways. He doesn't want to conform with us. He doesn't want to compromise with us. Let him go. But the truth of the matter is, God was with him even though he made a mistake. Sometimes before we become transformed, God allows us to be broken. They said that a beautiful mosaic are products of broken glasses. See? But the problem is he was already at the peak of his career, 40 years. So when he left, he was thinking, what am I going to do now? But all the while he was in the wilderness, God prepared for him a place so he can be transformed. What was the greatest transformation that he had for the next 40 years? Patriarchs and prophets says, he need to learn one thing. And what was that? Help me out. Patience. That's why he graduated with high honor, I believe. That's right, Louis. Patience. Sometimes the greatest learning that we have is not academics, but character, right? You cannot learn it from school. Patience, man. You learn it from your daily life experiences. It can be brought by, yes? Yeah, that's right. I agree. Yeah. But you know what? Not only did he learn patience, he also learned to be humble. Because when you are so educated, people look up at you, you become too proud. So I can do things. Everybody looking at your opinion, they want to hear from you because you always have the best opinion. He had to learn how to be humble. And God made him a shepherd taking care of this. Well, I don't want to use it, but that's what I've read. These stupid animals. You know what? Sometimes pets can also help us, right? How many of you have pets in your homes? How does taking care of pets help you to be a better person? Like a cat. We have a cat. It helps you to be responsible. You have to clean up the litter, right? Provide. Give it a bath if you're brave enough to be scratched. What else? If you have a dog, you have to walk it, pick up the poop. Yes, what else? Wow, personal space. Okay, anyways, while Moses was there, for some people, probably in Israel, they thought, well, Moses is a goner. And life was slipping away until he reached. How old was Moses when God eventually said, this is time for Moses to be transformed? Yes? 120. You overshoot. Lower. Oh, that was when he left Egypt. 80, all right, that's it. So when he was 80 years old, this time he was already a father. Everything that he had learned, even the speech or the language, he already forgot it. Of course, how many of you here used to speak Tagalog? And now you forgot how to speak Tagalog. Sharla could speak Tagalog. In 2015 when we left, the following year, 2016, she couldn't speak Tagalog anymore. I said, wow, that's so fast. That's so fast. See, she couldn't even remember. Now, the point is, for 40 years, he never spoke Egyptian language. But not only that, he forgot to depend on himself. He learned only to trust God in everyday living, a very simple life. But God said, this is time. So the beginning of his another transformation, which was very dramatic, was one day he saw a burning bush. You know the story, right? Exodus chapter 3. And he said, I've seen a lot of bush that's burning, but this one never get really burned. So he tried to inquire, and suddenly the voice came from the bush. What did the voice say? Moses, take off your sandals. That's right. For you stand on holy ground. And he recognized it was God. And so he obeyed, and God gave him the command, I heard my people's cry in Egypt, go and deliver them. Did Moses agree? Not right away. He refused. Why? Because he knew that he is not the same person anymore. He's not the same person anymore. Okay, long story short, after God gave him an evidence, after evidence that God is there, and the promise that he'll be there, and also his older brother Aaron to help him to be his spokesperson, eventually Moses agreed. Now, this is very critical. I want to highlight this. In every transformation, you need what? A decision. You cannot be transformed by God if you do not choose to be transformed by God. Many of you are into music, right? Before you learn an instrument, was it easy? No. You need, what do you need if you are going to learn music? Motivation, what else? Patience, what else? Practice, what else? Parents. Oh, yeah. That's good. What else? Discipline, commitment, perseverance, and a lesson. Okay. And an instrument. Okay, that's right. Anyways, all of this, at the beginning, it's really hard, especially playing guitar. Man, it's so painful on your fingertip. But then you keep on doing it and you transform. You change. The Bible says, Paul used it in a very nice way. He says, you are changed from glory to glory. Right? That's transformation from glory to glory. And so as we grow, God empowers us, but along the way, you keep on that decision. Number 2 point, when God transforms us because we chose, He has a purpose. Moses was called not just because God called him to have a chat mate, because Moses needs someone to talk to. No, God called him. What was the purpose? To deliver the people of God. When God transforms you, He transforms you for a purpose. What do you think is the purpose? Yes, Lewin, you're a nurse now. No. What do you think is the purpose? Why you become a nurse? That's right, to help the sick people. When you play an instrument, we have here a very good pianist. What do you think is the purpose why God gave you this talent of playing piano and singing at the same time? Say again?
Others.
Wow, he knows what he's talking about. Minister to others. That's a very serious word. To minister to others. In fact, when you were playing, some people were even shedding tears. Last Sabbath, wow, they're so blessed. What else? Oh, like the harpists, very few people. In fact, in our church, there are only two of them who plays the harp. So, it is the purpose of God when He transforms you to be a blessing to others and to glorify God and to help other people to know God. Do you feel you are privileged because of that? But if you are just transformed, like, oh, before you were just like, pardon me, but I just remember the story, the ugly duckling. You remember the story of the ugly duckling? And then it was transformed. It became a beautiful what? Swan. But what's the purpose when you become a swan? So other people will just see how beautiful you are. Many people in this world want to be transformed. It's like the sermon illustration I gave last month, that even God couldn't recognize her face. The point is, we just want to be changed, to be appreciated. What else? To be famous on Instagram. So, wow, look at that. I don't recognize that person anymore. And even we have apps on our smartphones that instant transformation, right? What's that? Not only Photoshop, like you become a beautiful whoever. It just get a portion of your face and you suddenly become a different person. Yeah, that's right. Well, the point is this. When God transforms you, it is not to bring attention to ourselves or glory to ourselves, but to point people to God. So people will glorify God, and through your ministry, as what this young man mentioned, people will be blessed. Okay? So, going back to Moses. So Moses, for the next or the last 40 years of his life, was responsible to lead the people of Israel and transform this nation into the people of God, godly nation. That was a tall order, right? How many of you think you can do even 1% of what Moses did? Man, that's a tall order. We have our head elder here. He can testify how challenging it is to lead a church, right? Imagine, according to estimates, there were at least not less than 2 million people to 4 million people who left Egypt. And all of them has a problem. And when they have a problem, who did they go to? To Moses. When they're hungry, who did they go to? When they're thirsty, when they want some meat, chicken joy, they go to Moses and complain. That's the thing. They complain. Until Moses, eventually, he also sinned. He couldn't take it anymore. God told him, speak to the rock. What did he do? He hit it how many times? Twice. And because of that, God was sorry for him. He said, Moses, I'm sorry. I know my plan for you, and I know your desire, but I cannot allow you to enter the promised land. You can see it, but you cannot set foot on the promised land. If you were Moses, I'm sure you will feel disappointed. Did Moses complain? No. But the story even gets better. God allowed Moses to die. Not for long, because according to the Bible, Michael, the archangel, came and raise up Moses. And instead of him going to the promised land, God brought him to a better land, to heaven. But did God really did not allow him to set foot on the promised land? He did. During the transfiguration of Jesus Christ, the request of Moses was granted. He with Elijah were sent from heaven as representatives of human race who will be saved, because Moses represents those who will die and will be resurrected. Elijah represents those who will never experience death when Jesus comes. And they came to Jesus, and that was the greatest honor of human race, to assist Jesus, encourage him. Yes, go with the mission. Go with the mission. And literally Moses actually set foot on the promised land. Not right away, but God in his perfect time. You know, when we are transformed by God, let's allow him to set the timetable and not our time. Many of you, even parents, I feel disappointed sometimes with the progress of my kids, with their transformation. Sometimes I think they're too slow. And sometimes instead of transforming, they deform. They go back to the old habits. But I don't give up. I don't give up on them. We keep on supporting and loving them because we know their potential, right? And we always believe in God's perfect time. In his time, that's the song that we sing. In his time, he make all things beautiful in his time. So let us not give up on our young people. Let us say, ay, wala nang pag-asa talaga yan. Makunat pa yan sa leather. Anyways, God knows what he's doing. He had been patient with Moses. He can be patient with us. He was patient with the Israelites. He can be patient with us. All we need to do is what? Just keep on following him. We may have our ups like Moses. We may have our downs. But as long as we don't give up on God, definitely he will never give up on us. So let the life of Moses be an inspiration for each one of us. Okay? Let us continue to pray to him, to call upon him, especially when we are down. That's the time where we need God most. But we also need him in our successes, right? It means in every time, all the time, we need to trust him and allow him to transform us and choose and be committed to that plan. God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Mark.